We are Man vs. Meeple, and for July 17th through July 30th, this is What's Next.
Welcome back to What's Next, the bi-weekly show where David and I walk you through all the games coming out to your friendly local gaming store. We are now 1 month away from Gen Con 50.
Yep, 1 month and counting.
Yeah, and there's going to be a whole slew of games coming out over the next couple weeks, starting with number 5 this week.
Yes.
This is another release from AG in the Love Letter universe. This is from HP Lovecraft, and it's called Lovecraft Letter.
Yep.
It is a 2 to 6 player, 10 minutes, 10 and up game.
Right, and this is a little different than the other Lovecraft game or the other Love Letter games.
Yes, it uses the same 16 base cards as all the other Love Letter games, except with the unique twist, it adds some insanity cards in there as well.
Of course.
So in front of you, you're going to be playing your cards just like you do in the base game. However, you will be going insane through the course of the game. You'll be collecting insanity cards and putting them into your discard pile. And when you become insane, you can play future cards in future rounds for either their base value or for their insane effects, but at the risk of going even further insane. So the game will end in the same way, the player whoever has the most points or has the highest base card at the end of the game. But also there's a way to get Cthulhu to help you out as well. So some unique twists to the Lovecraft engine, or the Love Letter engine with Lovecraft as well.
Very beautiful, too. This package is incredible. It opens up like a book and has really nice chips with it.
And it comes with its own card sleeves as well.
Yeah, very cool.
Which is fantastic. You have number 4.
Number 4. This is a 2-player game called Fox in the Forest. This is a 2-player trick-taking game, which is very rare.
Yeah,
In fact, I don't know of many other ones. In this one, it's standard trick-taking, except there's a couple things. One, there's these characters, the fox, the woodcutter, the witch, several others, that have an effect that kind of changes things up. You know, for instance, the fox, when you play it, might allow you to change trump for that hand.
Right.
I think the witch, it's just some interesting rule-breaking things. The witch is the 9 card, and when you play it, if it's the only 9 card in the trick,
you win it.
You win it. You know, some things like that. So. Totally changes things up. The really cool difference, in my opinion, the scoring happens. You don't want to take all the tricks. You don't want to take too many. So there's like these little windows of tricks. You're going to score points for 1 to 3 tricks or something like that. You're going to score points for the next window up. But if you get too high, you score 0.
Yeah.
So you don't want to get too greedy. It's kind of this sort of dance every hand to try to take just as many tricks as you can to maximize your points.
What's really cool about this game as well is you're going to be playing it over multiple different rounds. Once the round is over, you're going to add up all your points, and the first player to X number of points will win. You're going to reshuffle, and you're going to keep doing that round after round. So you start to learn the nuances of the game and how particular cards work in conjunction with other things. And there's always going to be hidden cards in the game too.
Right.
So there is a set of cards that's always set off to the side that you have no idea what they're going to be. And there's only 3 suits, which is fantastic as well. So you start to understand the way the cards come out.
It takes some getting used to, for sure.
Yeah, it's a really good game. Number 3, now this is on the complete opposite spectrum. This is called Sidereal Confluence, Trading and Negotiation in the Elysian Quadrant. That is a mouthful of a game.
It is.
And it is a huge trading negotiation style game. It plays 4 to 9 players. Look at the number here, 180 minutes. You're talking 2 to 3 hour game, 14 and up. Now, what's really cool about this game is that each player is going to play as an asymmetric race in the game. And the whole game is player driven. You're going to be trading different resources, trying to complete objectives in the course of the game, because you have like a tech tree in order to build specific things. But the cool thing is, although it has some cooperative aspects to it, you can't succeed on your own. You will be competing with other players, but you will need their resources. You will need to make deals with them in order to succeed over the course of the game.
Like any of those games, you're making deals, you're maybe breaking those deals or leaving those deals in the past.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of negotiation going
on. And everything is tradable, resources, victory points, colony ships, everything.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Hence the 180 minutes.
That's right. You have number 2.
Number 2 is Caverna, Cave versus Cave. We're both fans of Caverna. Cave versus Cave, we've talked about this, we've had a review of it already. This is the 2-player version. You know, it has the spirit of Caverna, but it's a completely different game for sure. This game has a lot of the same sort of threads. You know, there's going to be action spaces that you're taking that reveal themselves throughout the game, so that it kind of like builds, and that's going to be different or slightly different every game. The cool thing is, in my opinion, the player boards in this thing start with all of the rooms that you might get on it, but face down.
Yeah.
So you have to excavate your cave,
Right.
dig it out, and when you do, you flip over the tiles, and those become
a supply for people to get.
Yeah,
through
the
course
rooms
game.
that can be taken, not necessarily yours. They basically become up for grabs.
Yeah.
So the rooms that come out are going to be different every game,
Yeah.
slightly, and certainly come out in a different order. So those kind of go out into the general supply, and that's going to be something that you bring back into your cave to sort of enhance your engine that you've built. The other cool thing is there's a puzzly aspect here. You actually, a lot of the rooms require certain walls on certain sides.
Right.
So your cave has walls around the outside, but you're going to have to use actions to build walls in the middle to try to piece together exactly what you need in order to build the rooms you want to build.
Yeah.
Very cool game. If you're a fan of Caverna and want to try a two-player game, I mean, Caverna is a great game, two-player on its own.
Right.
But Cave versus Cave is definitely a streamlined experience in that same sort of vein.
Right. And I have number 1. This one is The Godfather, Corleone's Empire.
Yeah.
It's a 2 to 5 player, 90-minute game, area control, worker placement, Eric Lang, CMOD.
Enough said.
Yeah, no, it is a fantastic game, and there was some worry about this one because it wasn't Kickstarted. It's direct to retail. We've had the chance to play it. We've reviewed it. Fantastic game.
Absolutely. This game, once it hits stores, this is going to go really fast. I think this is going to be one of their big games at Gen Con.
Yeah.
Like Jeremy said, it mixes a lot of great things and adds a lot of worker placement to an Eric Lang game, in my opinion, which are usually have a lot of area control.
Yeah, fantastic game. If you guys want to know more about the game, go check out our review.
Yeah.
Go buy it. Don't even think about it. It's fantastic. Great production, as always, from them. Let's get into the friendly local gaming store, and it's kind of interesting because I just got back from Chicago, and you have a store in Chicago.
Yes, we have Cat and Mouse Games from Chicago, Illinois. They are in the heart of Chicago. This is a location that it's proudly woman-owned and run, and they try to appeal to the very diverse Chicago area. I mean, there's a lot of different types of people, a lot of different walks of life in Chicago.
It's true.
So they appeal to all those people. One of the things that I liked what they said, we're a little bit biased, but they said their focus is board games. That's where their heart is first and foremost, followed by like RPGs and then some puzzles and brain type games.
Sure.
They do sell Magic, but they're not hardcore into the Magic scene. So they don't sell singles. They don't even do Magic tournaments, but they do a ton of other tournaments. So one of the cool things that they shared with me is they have a Settlers of Catan tournament.
Interesting.
Which, in this day and age, you'd think, wow, people are still having Settlers of Catan tournaments. They do, and one of the things that she shared with me was the fact that one year, there's a guy named Alex Kevern.
Okay.
He competed in their tournament. He ended up going on and winning the national Settlers of Catan tournament. And now he designs games. Sentient, World's Fair.
Yeah.
Among many
Body sounded very familiar when you said the name.
Right.
Yeah.
So what I thought was cool about this was the fact that, you've got a guy who's going into a store, he's a gamer, he's experiencing things like that, and they've created an environment that allows people to then sort of like enjoy the hobby so much that they get into it potentially and go on to design games very successfully.
Yeah, and don't forget, if you're a retailer watching this show, Settlers of Catan is a great introductory game for people that aren't familiar with the enthusiast hobby. By all means, have tournaments based around that game, even though it may not appeal to
a lot
people
of
like
gamers
us who've been around it for years and years and years, but it's a great gateway game for people.
Sure.
So good for them for doing that. Guys, we'll be at Gen Con. We have one more episode prior to Gen Con coming out. Come check us out. We'll be roaming around the halls, playing games, taking
doing
footage.
Lots of stuff.
And come back in 2 weeks. We'll have a whole nother episode of What's Next. Make sure you guys subscribe to us, follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, and everything else that we do. And we'll catch you guys next time.
Bye-bye.